welcome back to my channel. So Josh Duggar, who we all know from TLC's 19 Kids and Counting, he had his sentencing today, and he was sentenced to 12 and a half years for downloading and possessing CP. He was sentenced to 151 months in prison and fined $10,000. He's also required to participate in a specific treatment program related to his offense. So he was facing up to 20 years in prison and fines of up to $250,000 for each count. The prosecutors had asked the judge to give the maximum term of 20 years to Duggar. And Duggar's lawyers, they were trying to get him a 5-year sentence, and they still are maintaining his innocence and said he will appeal. He has up to 14 days to appeal. So in December, a jury found Josh guilty on 1 count each of receiving and possessing CP, and they ended up dropping the possession charge today. So he's just getting charged with receiving CP. And so the lawyer of Josh, he said, "We're grateful the judge dismissed count 2 and rejected the government's request for a 240-month sentence," and he said, "We look forward to continuing the fight on appeal." And like I said, they have up to 14 days to appeal that decision. And this all stemmed from Josh having a guilty verdict in December after the federal authorities said they began investigating Josh after a Little Rock police detective found CP files were being shared by a computer traced to Josh Duggar, and a federal agent testified last year that images depicting SA of children, including toddlers, were downloaded in 2019 onto a computer at a car dealership that Josh Duggar owned. And this trial was originally supposed to happen in July, but it was postponed to November, and a jury was seated in the case on November 30th, and they saw testimony from computer analysts on both sides and a family friend who testified that Duggar admitted to doing inappropriate things with 4 young girls in 2003. So Josh Duggar's family all became famous from the TLC show 19 Kids and Counting, which followed his parents, Jim, Bob, and Michelle, and their many children, and Josh was the oldest son, and the series was canceled in 2015 following the revelations that Josh did inappropriate things with 4 of his sisters and a babysitter when he was a young teen, and he ended up admitting that he had a problem with watching adult content and cheating on his wife and apologized. And part of the stipulation today that the judge gave Josh also on top of his sentencing is even when he's released, so he's going to get 12 and a half years, and once he's released he will be on probation for the next 20 years after that. So the judge also put a few special stipulations on Josh as well. So once he's released from prison, he is not allowed to look at any adult content of any sort. And I can understand that because they don't want anything to trigger or gateway him into going back into that old behavior. And also, he's required, if they feel it's necessary, he has to submit to a lie detector at any time if they request it during his 20 years of probation after his 12-and-a-half-year sentence. And just a week ago, before his sentencing today, Amy King, who is Josh Duggar's cousin, ended up writing an open letter to Duggar's wife Anna on Instagram telling her there's no shame in divorcing Josh. And Anna and Josh, they have 7 children together, and their daughter Madison was just born just a few weeks before Josh's trial began. And she said, "Anna, I feel for you. No woman wants to be in your shoes. You're faced with an impossible decision, and you're being surrounded by the wrong kind of support. You've been taught since you were a child that marriage is forever, and you prayed for God to send you a partner." And she ended this post by saying the only people you would upset by leaving are the ones willing to sacrifice you and your children's safety to protect Josh and his secrets. And she stuck by Josh's side through all this. She was at his trial today as well as his family. And Duggar, when he was convicted in December, his parents, Jim, Bob, and Michelle, they shared a joint statement on their website calling the situation very grievous. They said, "In the days ahead, we'll do all we can to surround our daughter-in-law, Anna, and their children with love and support. As parents, we'll never stop praying for Joshua and loving him as we do with all of our children." And Josh Duggar's dad, Jim Bob, he ran and lost in a special election for a vacant state Senate seat in Northwest Arkansas. during Josh's trial. And that has to be super frustrating. You work all your life for this, and then it all gets screwed up because of your son's disgusting behavior. So I feel like his sentence is very much appropriate, especially the special stipulations they put on him as well. Stuff like this just makes me so sick to my stomach. And the detective who looked into all the CP on Josh's computer said it ranked in the top 5 worst cases that he's ever seen. And that's very serious right there. Another thing the judge said is he was super frustrated over the fact that Josh has managed to take zero accountability still through all this. He's still maintaining his innocence, as well as his lawyers as well. But that's it for this video, guys. I just wanted to give you guys an update on this Josh Duggar trial. He was sentenced to 12.5 years and 20 years probation with those few special stipulations that he has to abide to when he gets out. But that's it for this video. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Make sure you give this video a thumbs up, subscribe, and thank you so much for watching.